Hi everyone, and welcome to this week's Conservation Corner. This week's episode is going to be about Dane County's stream bank protection and easement program. My name is Sara Rigelman. I'm a park property planner for Dane County Parks, and I also oversee the county's stream bank easement program. I'm going to start by giving some background and history on the county's stream bank protection program first. So this program really took off in the 90s and early 2000s when our land conservation department initiated a very targeted approach for restoring our cold water resources within Dane County. Most of those cold water streams are in the western part of Dane County within the driftless area. Back then, streams such as the West Branch of the Sugar River and German Valley Branch were extremely degraded and on EPA's 303D impaired waters list due to land use changes and increased agricultural activities in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. The stream channels became very incised, wide, and shallow, resulting in poor water quality and little to none trout habitat. Trout really need clean and cold water and diverse habitat to survive. Our staff worked with interested landowners, really section by section to restore these streams. They also worked with partners such as DNR, our local Trout Unlimited chapter, Dane County Conservation League, Deer Creek Sports and Conservation Club, Badger Fly Fishers. Several organizations really came together to try to work with landowners and work through the various programs to restore these trout streams. And what did those restorations look like? Well, a lot of the streams before they were restored, like I said, they're incised, and what that usually looks like is really eroded banks. So you have these vertical eroded banks. And what they would do is they would go in and pull those banks back and reshape and seed those. What they were going for is a very much a grassland environment that was going to be a lot more stable and kind of prevent any further erosion along those banks. And then adding fish habitat such as lunkers, rock weirs, root wads, and really narrowing up those channels and creating more depth and the riffle run pool type of habitat that trout really thrive on. So through this program, over 50 miles of cold water trout streams were restored, with both the West Branch of the Sugar River and German Valley Branch actually being removed from that 303D impaired waters list. So that was a huge improvement. And then through this program, another huge benefit was that landowners who donated a 20-year stream bank easement for public fishing access received 100% cost sharing to cover the restoration costs. So not only did the program restore miles and miles of trout habitat and streams, they also were made available to the public for fishing. And then starting in 2007, a new stream bank easement program was established to permanently protect these stream corridors that had been restored and secure that public fishing access in perpetuity. So the landowners with the 20-year easements were approached to see if they would be interested in selling a permanent stream bank easement. Many of them were. It's been a very successful program that has resulted in 37 easements stretching over 24 miles of stream on 11 different cold water streams in Dane County. Some of those include Vermont Creek, for example, the West Branch of the Sugar River, German Valley Branch, Gordon Creek, Kittleson Valley Branch, and several others. More recently, we have purchased a couple of stream bank easements on the Sugar River and have done some stream improvement projects on county lands. So for example, the Sugar River Wildlife Area Basco unit, stream bank improvement project occurred there, was completed there. a couple years ago, and then just recently last year we restored a very straightened, channelized section of the Sugar River that goes through the Falkwells Wildlife Area. So I encourage you to check those spots out. Also, there are maps on our parks website of all the easements, the public lands, Sugar River Wildlife Area properties that I just mentioned, that show where the streams are, how to access them. And not only are the Dane County stream bank easements on those maps, but they do also show the DNR easements and the 20-year easements. Not all of those have expired yet. And then of course, public fishing access, the public lands too, are also shown on those maps. So I encourage you to check those out. Keep in mind that the county stream bank easements are 33 feet wide. So when you do visit those, please, walk as close as you can to the bank so you don't go outside of that 33-foot area. You still are on private land, so just remember that and respect that land. You will see, so at the bridges, that's really where it's advised to park, find a safe spot to pull off the road by the bridge, and that's where you'll see our public access signs and can access the easements. They're fairly well marked. They do indicate, the signs do show whether the easement is on one side or both banks. For the most part, most of the easements are on both sides, but it just really depends on that property. But it should be pretty easy to find, and I think those signs do a good job at marking where the easements are and where they stop and end. The trout populations on the streams I mentioned are very healthy, and these streams, they really do go through some of the most scenic parts of Dane County. So I hope you do get out there and explore. Just remember, before you go out fishing, to check the DNR trout fishing regulations and get your inland trout stamp. That's about all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed this segment, and good luck fishing. Thanks.